Hey there, I want to welcome you to another Rise of the 1% podcast episode, and I am G Bass. And on today's Rise of the 1% podcast episode, I have on today's show, founder of Cox and Company, Mrs. Kim Cox Owens. Absolutely. Glad to have you on.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, absolutely. So, Kim, let's start from the beginning. Let's tell the audience where you're from.
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. All right. Now, let's talk a little bit about your upbringing coming up in Atlanta. Start from the beginning.
So I am like a third generation Atlantean. My parents attended Atlanta public schools. I attended Atlanta public schools. My grandparents are from Metro Atlanta as well. So I've been around before it was a 85, 285, 20, and 75. When you was going down Highway 85.
Okay. But where did you go to grade school?
So I went to school on the west side, mainly in Ben Hill.
Okay.
But I graduated from DM Thera High School in 1991.
1991.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. And when you graduated, you went on to college.
Yes, I attended the Alabama A&M University in Huntsville, Alabama.
Okay.
Known as The Hill.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. What did you take up at Alabama A&M?
So I was a political science major with a minor in criminal justice, and my intent was to become a juvenile prosecuting attorney because I was going to save the world, save the kids.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What had you have that interest in terms of going to college for that?
Well, growing up, I actually grew up more in Pittsburgh or Southwest Atlanta still, but more closer to downtown Atlanta.
Absolutely.
And that was in the 80s, early to mid 80s, and I kept seeing a lot of young boys going to jail. And I was like, okay, well, if I was the one to decide what type of sentence they'll get, I can help them out. So that made me want to become a prosecuting attorney, which I am not a prosecuting attorney.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. And, well, we'll get into what you did after college in a second, but in Alabama A&M, so you're AK, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I pledged Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated in 95.
Okay. All right.
So I just celebrated my 30th. Anniversary.
30th anniversary.
AKA,
All right,
and
congratulations.
I am a life member.
There you go. I love it. Okay, great stuff. So, what happened, Kim, after you graduated from college?
So my intentions was to go into law school. I applied to Georgia State probably not even 5 years after Georgia State Law School had started. So Georgia State had just gotten the okay from the state of Georgia to have a law school. And I was told that I was too young. So I graduated from college at 21. I actually graduated in 3 years from college.
Right stuff.
And they was like, yeah, you might want to, do grad school or something and come back. So I got caught up in going to work. I went and worked for in the mortgage industry. I worked for the state of Georgia with the Department of Community Affairs. I did that probably like a year and a half, 2 years, and I found out I'm not meant to work for anyone. So
let me stop you there, Kim. What exactly were you doing with the Department of Community Affairs? What were you doing there?
So with that, I worked with their first-time home buyers program called Georgia Dream.
Okay.
And I handled the customer service side of it when you first get your loan. I was the person that verified all the stuff from the closing attorney, all your legal paperwork was correct to make sure that we was holding your mortgage legally. Okay. Because Georgia Dream has a mortgage company. The state of Georgia has a mortgage company called State Home Mortgage. Okay. That holds those mortgages.
Okay. All right. And what was the discovery that made you say, I don't want to work for anyone else?
So they had a position for Department of Community Affairs, so Georgia Department of Community Affairs, DCA was the name of the agency that I was working for, government agency I was working for. They had a position for you to be a regional advisor to the local government. And I applied to be that in Noonan, Georgia, because my grandmother was from Noonan, Georgia. So I was like, I'm gonna go to Noonan, Georgia. I feel comfortable, living there.
Okay.
And I didn't get the position. I was like, how could I not get the position? I know I'm highly qualified. I was already active in the community.
Right.
And so I went up to the commissioner's office, the commissioner of the Department of Community Affairs. I went up to his office and I told him, why didn't I get the position? I know that I'm qualified and I can represent this area. My family's from this area. He was like, 1, you didn't go to the University of Georgia. 2, I gave it to my friend's daughter.
Oh, wow.
That went to the University of Georgia.
University of Georgia.
So, those dogs are very important to Georgia.
I see.
I was a bulldog, but it didn't count.
Well, okay.
So after that, I just started really feeling like I was being harassed and watched. They was like, you go to the bathroom, let us know, because you shouldn't just be able to walk in the commissioner's office. I was like, who are you to tell me where I can walk?
Yeah.
And so I started looking for other opportunities. And I ended up being a processor for a mortgage company. I just looked up the nearest mortgage company to me. And I ended up being a processor for them. And then I became basically self-employed as a loan officer for that same mortgage company.
Okay. Great stuff. Great stuff. Okay. All right. So with let's talk a little bit about what you was doing in regards to a loan officer for an audience that might be tuning in. Like, what exactly were you doing as a loan officer?
So a loan officer is the person that actually helps you get the loan.
Right.
So I would say your loan officer is like your attorney and the underwriter is the judge. I have to prepare all your financial document to create a low risk for that underwriter to say, yes, we will accept this risk. So that's what a loan officer is. They're just the person that create a scenario for you that says, I'm low risk, you should invest in me and give me this loan.
Hello, this is G Bass, Rise of the 1%, Rise Media. We on this Saturday evening about to get ready to knock out some podcast episodes with some individuals here in the city of Atlanta making some big moves. You can see here, look, this is how it goes down. Here when our guests come and sit down with myself, G Bass, other Rise of 1% of Rise Media, to have that conversation, to share the story, share the journey, share what you got going on. So listen, everybody got a story, everybody got a journey, and then you got some things going on, then you definitely can get with us and see if it'll be a fit to be on the Rise of 1% podcast and actually have that discussion with myself. It's going to be a link to a form for you to fill out. You said www.theriseofthe1%.com/pod-form. Again, www.theriseofthe1%.com/pod-form. It's going to be in this video. You can fill that out. And we can see if it'll be a fit for you to come on and have that conversation with myself. If you don't fill out the form, then obviously it's not for you, and that's fine. We're looking for those that's serious. Those that's serious about rising to the top 1% are already in the 1%. That's what we're looking to sit down with myself right here. As you can see, Rise Media, Rise of the 1%. This is how we get down. We have a great time and have a lot of fun doing it. So once again, if you're serious, make sure you fill out the form. We'll look over the form, see if it's a fit. If it's a fit, we'll reach out. If not, we won't reach out. We'll just continue to move forward. But with that said, this is G Bass. See you soon. Have a great one on purpose.